and that is just how was it working on this production?
It was really, really, really great. I mean, everybody I worked with was um so sweet and so funny all the time, which made the entire set so calm. And especially because most scenes that I did do were more emotional or to the dramatic side. I didn't
Mhm.
feel at any moment that I had to prove something. It was sort of an ongoing game to work with everybody. So it was incredible at all times.
Okay, thank you very much. Um, so, how was Brooke first described to you, and what, if anything, appeals to you the most about her? About her.
From the moment I received the script, I was really, really impressed with how Ali captured the honesty that comes from a teenager. It wasn't sort of the stereotypical, oh, I'm mad. There was much more to it.
Mhm.
There was a certain sort of rawness that came from her, and I really, really appreciated that. So it was sort of what you see on screen was how I envisioned Brooke from the very first second, which was sort of acting out, but it was all because she needed love and connections. And that her behavior was a result of that. Yeah.
That makes sense to me. Um, so, I was reading through your mini bio. Um, so the question I sort of have after that is, what was it like introducing Michelle Obama, and how
Oh,
did that opportunity come about?
so I was in elementary school. I believe this was 2019. And I was part of this club, Me for We or We for Me. I'm not entirely something along those lines. And we got the opportunity to go to the opening of her book tour, and that was already insane. And then out of nowhere, I received a phone call from my teacher, Miss Patty, who said, "Hey, you were the very first person I thought of. um they're looking for a young girl to go on stage and speak on what she's becoming. And so I thought of you, and I thought you would want to take that opportunity. And so of course I did, and I met the four other lovely ladies that were there. And I remember before we went on stage, it was sort of, okay, there's 13,000 eyes on you, keep, just so you know. And so we went up, but thankfully all the lights were on us, so I couldn't see, so the fear lessened. And as soon as we got off stage, there was a man who said, Michelle Obama just watched you. And we were like, oh, how fun. That's crazy. And went back to our seat, and it was insane. I can't believe that even happened.
That does sound amazing. I was just wondering, so how long were, so for how long were you in Canada at that point after moving there? Do you think that?
So we immigrated from Cyprus in 2016. So this happened, yeah, so been here 7 years now,
Mm.
give or take. And it's been great here. The Michelle Obama thing happened 3 years after, and I'm not complaining.
Are, are you worried that your sort of Canadian experience has peaked with that then? So it's, yeah, well, is there something amazing going to happen again in a few more years? It's going to be a
I
regular thing.
I I try not to think about it that way. I try to think about it, I'm just enjoying life right now, and seeing it's a big place, and there's so many opportunities, especially for young people. So I'm really, really thankful that we got the chance to move here and create a life for ourselves.
Okay. Okay. So obviously you're still very young, starting out on journey, but I wondered, when did you decide that you wanted to take acting up professionally, to go that extra mile, sort of to dedicate yourself more to the craft, I guess.
I've always known that I enjoyed performing. I would set up a camera in my room and put on wigs and pause in between and do all these little shows for myself. And I wonder where that camera is. I think that'd be interesting to watch now. But when I never thought about it, one because I was so young, and also Cyprus is so small that I didn't even think that was an actual real life possibility. And so after moving here, about 6 months later, we came across this ad for this program that sort of had 3 levels, and if you pass the first 2, you go to Florida and you perform in front of agents and all that. And so I managed to do that. And about 2 years after that, 2 to 3 years after that, I managed to sign with the current agent that I have.
Mhm.
And that's when I realized, this is what it's like to have an agent that takes care of you. And I knew that since this is an opportunity I have, I don't want to stop. This is a life that I do want to hopefully continue.
Okay. So it seems that your other big passion is psychology. Do you feel that that helps you with your approach to roles?
Absolutely. It's once they even it's always been just like acting, just like performing, something that I would always, be the little kid that would watch people just for fun.
Mhm.
Not in a stalking way, that sounds so strange, but um,
It's just
and
people watching.
so yeah, exactly. And so it does help behavior wise to sort of, okay, this is who I am. Let me not overanalyze that, but let's get into it a little more and figure things out. It definitely is a huge helper, 100%.
Okay. Yeah. Um, who would you say are your acting influences?
Ooh, I love Joaquin Phoenix. I think he's incredible. I love seeing his work, and I love of course Robin Williams was a big one. Meryl Streep. I mean, I could just name huge names, but I think anybody who really just steps forward and tries to create something different every time, I think that's really cool, and that's what I'm hoping to also do later on.
Hmm. Okay. Right. So, going back into getting into the film, obviously we start well along the journey, um, and it's sort of very shortly that we find out that obviously Brooke has disappeared. Um, And sort of like my thought from that, once I got to the end of things, was what was that? What was the sort of inciting event? I was wondering if it was about her feelings around betrayal from Sam, or is it, or was it more, I don't know, maybe just the slightest worry that perhaps what her father said wasn't right, and that might have just threw her for a loop and made her take the decision to run away. I wonder what was your take on it?
When I first read it and then got the chance to film it, I had in mind both of the things you said. Um, because really what I think the backbone of Brooke is this longing for connection and love
Mm.
and support and all. And so everything that she does in my eyes was a result of that. And so I think the running away was not a sort of, oh, I'm an angsty teenager and I'm just gonna take off. It was more of a nothing is working out right now and I'm really confused, and I feel that I have to go to the one person that in that moment listens to me. Maybe not the best person, but in in Brooke's eyes, definitely that. So that's how I viewed it.
Okay, thank you very much. And just again, I'd like to say how much I enjoyed it. And sort of with Hollywood North News, we always like to end on the same thing, which we ask everyone we speak to, and that is for you, what is your favorite Canadian film or TV show? So whichever of those was sort of peaks above the other, you just mentioned that. Just let us know a little bit about that one, so maybe our viewers can track it down.
Um, ooh, Schitt's Creek. That's a Canadian show, right?
Mhm.
I love that
It
show.
is.
That's also we were watching it right before I also got the audition for this, and I realized that Allie was part of the
Oh
writing
yeah.
and directing
Mhm.
process of that, which was insane. So definitely that my whole family loves that show. It's really well done. Cast is incredible. There's so many iconic lines. It everyone should go watch that show. It's so entertaining.
Well, that's great. And it's great you got to enjoy it as a family. It's not something that we necessarily get to do as much these days with TV shows. Um,
Very true.
okay. So yeah, I'd like to thank you for your time. That was great. And I wish for you every success. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.